Hi everybody. The Albert Lee was introduced in the market in 1993, signed by the master himself. The Silhouette Special was introduced in the market in 1995. The Silhouette, the normal with 24 frets, came on the market in 1985. Fender Eric Clapton signature model. The Reflex, a BFR Family Reserve. They're a bit the limited edition superior of the standard line, made in small limited editions between, I don't know, 25 to 100 guitars in the BFR line. This is the Valentine, the follower of the Reflex. The Reflex came on the market in 2010, and then when they stopped the production, they started to do the Valentine, James Valentine, Maroon 5. The Axis, the prototype was made in 1987 and given to Albert Lee. And then in 1990, Ernie Ball or Sterling Ball wanted to work with Eddie Van Halen. And so between 1995, the Axis became the EVH signature model from Eddie Van Halen. When he left Musicman, they widened the neck again a bit for more comfort, because a lot of the guitar players mentioned that the guitars on the extreme small, narrow neck went over the fretboard often while playing, so they made it a bit more comfortable for the players. The Reflex. And all those guitars are 25/5 scale. They are more or less in the tradition of a Fender guitars. And then in 2013 they brought the Armada on the market. And the Armada, when you go through the spec sheets, it's like a Gibson, mahogany body, maple neck, rosewood fretboard, and 12 radius, while most Musicman guitars have a 10 radius. Fender has 9.5 or 7.25. So the 12 radius means the Gibson neck is a bit flatter, but Musicman makes also the John Petrucci. The Majestic has a 17 radius, that means nearly a flat fretboard. So when I came home with the first Musicman Silhouette, my wife laughed at me. She said, "Since when do you collect toy guitars, children guitars?" Then I had to tell my wife, "You're completely wrong, because Musicman guitars are an absolute high-end product." And I start from the top a bit to give you some information. Okay, beside a Fender Strat, a Musicman looks a bit like a baby Strat, but I remember when I bought my first Silhouette in the late 80s, they said they shortened the guitar because the standard Fender and Gibson were just 1 or 2 inches too long to take in the planes to fly with. Nowadays it doesn't matter, you can't take your guitar in a plane, but in the 70s, in the 80s it was possible, so they tried to make it as comfortable for professional musicians when they were on tour to take the guitar with them in the plane. And then you see the head plate is shorter, so they had to take it from the tunings from machines from one side to 2 sides. They find a good solution. But what's really good, because they narrowed the necks, they made the headstock smaller, but not to lose the quality, the strength of the neck and the headstock. They put the truss rod in the neck, and you adjust the truss rod down the neck on the body side. So you have no hole here that weakens the headstock, like a Fender or a Gibson, where the truss rod comes out here. Then the next is the nut. If you see a Fender or a Gibson, it's just a nut with the cutouts to put the strings through. But then when you look on the Musicman, you see these little notches, these cutouts. This is technically great in way idea, because so the string is easier to keep in tune, to tune it, and the string has more space to vibrate. That's just, you see, Musicman is full of this technical engineering, great little things that makes at the end the difference. This is a late 80s Silhouette. The first ones, the Silhouette had 24 frets, introduced in 1985, and then in 1995 came the special with 22 frets. So the next step, where the neck joins the body. As you can see, Fender, it has edges. It's just cut it out. Look, the Musicman, it's beautiful, nicely rounded. You see that. So they work also on the body, they work hard. Then the Musicmans are often a bit thinner than a Fender, a bit lighter, and as you can see, the neck is more comfortable just up to the last fret. So even if a Musicman Silhouette is shorter than a Fender Strat, how they can have both a 25/5 scale. That's easy. Fender puts the neck more into the body, so they cut out more from the body to have the access, as you can see. So it goes more down, and it's absolutely comfortable to play. So you have the same space to play like a Fender on a shorter guitar, and you have a bit more comfortable access to the upper frets than on a Fender. So if you look also at the body, for example on the Reflex, it's rounded here. There is no edge like on a Fender or on a Gibson. And then the body shape that makes the guitar extremely comfortable. You see, there are all these little changes that makes the difference. You know, you can play all day long. It's so comfortable. And then, let's see the next. Those are all 25/5 scale Fenderish inspired guitars, and then now they have the shorter scale, the Gibson scale on the caisson on the new ones, and then in 2013 it was on the Armada, and I can show you. It's more or less like a Gibson, but the difference is the neck is a bit more comfortable. It's also varnished, but what's special, it's one lock, it's one piece. The body and the neck is made of one lock, one piece of wood, no glue here. And so they could sand it down to the best comfort you can have when you play the upper frets. So the Armada, and then the Armada is lighter than a Les Paul, even if the specs say it's more or less 12 radius, mahogany, maple top, rosewood. But it's only 3.6 kilos. It's even, you won't believe if you look at that guitar, it's even a bit lighter than a Fender Strat. And so the innovations of Musicman and what they put in a guitar, it's amazing. So I hope I gave you a bit something to think about, why people are willing to pay 10% more for a Musicman than for a Gibson, or 20 to 30% more for a Musicman than for a comparable Fender, because they look a bit smaller and lighter and everything, but when you dive in the Musicman world, you realize they are high-tech, high-end products with all these tiny little differences. And the Musicman, it's a much smaller company. Fender produces over 1 million guitars beside Cord and Samick, these three big guitar producers in the world, two Asian, Fender American. They produce all over 1 million guitars per year. Gibson in 2017, they said around 240,000, maybe it's a bit more now, but Gibson produces 4 times less guitars than Fender. And if you look with this 75 to 100 people works for Musicman, you can guess they produce probably between around 20,000, between 15,000, 20,000 guitars a year. That makes also a guitar a bit higher priced, the rarity. Thank you for watching. Now you have certainly a different look when you go in the guitar store on Musicmans. You understand now they are not light, comfortable, playing expensive guitars. They are an absolutely high-tech product, often over a standard Gibson or Fender. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye.